In this lesson, we will run MasterCAM Verify to observe our process and how our toolpaths cut the material. We will also look at how Verify will identify collisions for us. I'll go to my Verify icon in my Toolpath Manager. We'll bring it centered a little bit. Down below I have my video recorder bar. I'm going to hit the play button. And you can see it ran through all the operations fairly quickly. I have all the operations down below separated by these little gray blocks here. So to slow it down, I'll go over to my slow fast slider bar and I'll slide that down a little bit. To rewind to the beginning to get my material back, I'll go to Start Home and I'll go ahead and run it again. That's a little bit more reasonable speed, and I'm going from one operation to another. There's a couple other tools that I'd like to use here. I'm going to go back to Rewind, and up on Stop Conditions, I'm going to select Stop Conditions, highlight it, so it'll activate any stop conditions I have set down inside of here on this drop down arrow. I currently have Operation Change selected, which is what I want. And I'm also going to go to Verify, and I'm going to turn on the color loop. With the color loop, I can either change by operation or tool, and I'm going to leave it at operation. I'll go back down and I'll run again. It stops after the first operation like I told it to. So I've faced it. I'll select play again, and I'll do a rough turn, and it will stop. For some reason the color loop didn't get turned on. There it is. I'll go ahead and do the next operation, which is my finish turn. I paused it here so I can step through, and I can also use the B key to go backwards, and then I'll finish playing through. So you can see as I go through the operations, it stops at each operation based on my stop conditions, and my color changes based on my operation. I'm going to go back to Home and shut off stop conditions and finish running through. So this is what my finished part will look like. And if I want to turn the color loop back off, I can do that to get one solid color. Now I do want to show how our collision checking works. So if I go back to stop conditions, and I'm going to shut off operation change and turn on collision. Now what I show on collision is going to be based on these options that we previously set. And you can see that I have them all turned on. If I changed anything, I want to make sure I save them to configuration. So I'm going to go back to MasterCAM, and I'm going to intentionally change one of my operations so we can see a collision. I'm going to go to operation 6, and for my linking parameters I'm going to change my depth to -0.1. We'll go ahead and regenerate this and select all the operations. I'll go back into Verify, and you can see I've got stop conditions set. I've got my collision report open here, which is in the View tab under the Show group, and I'll go ahead and run this. So what I would expect is when I get to that slot, now I can drag up to that point as well with this slider down below. I'll continue to play from here, and you can see that I've stopped. I get a little message here that says simulation has been paused due to the following stop conditions, and I get something that pops up over in the collision report. Now I can continue on, but I'm going to continue to get collision messages because this toolpath continues to collide. If I look closer, you can see that my shoulder is hitting my part, and I told it to look for the shoulder hitting the part in my options. So in this case, I'm going to go back to Home. I'm going to turn off stop conditions and let it run through. and it'll continue to record each stop condition in the collision report. So at this point, if I want to take a look, I can clearly see with the red that I have a collision. But if I want to look closer, I can select any one of these collisions. Let's select the first one here. We'll jump back, and the material is removed, so it's a little harder to see. Let's try the last one. There we go. We can see our tool engaging with our part, and we don't want that.